Dark Pupil suggestion: don't make this game's melee like World of Warcraft with a ton of instant attacks. Man, you don't have to worry about that at all. I've said right from the beginning that we're not going to have a lot of instant attacks. It is not going to be like that at all. Box Fetish: would you consider PC crafted boats instead of NPC boats as an island travel mechanic? The answer is yes. We would consider it. I think that would be awesome. Am I promising it? Nope. Am I hinting at it? Nope. I agree with you. It would be great. But, as you know from since you're active on the forums, I've been very clear that our stretch goals, especially with the next one coming up soon, is not about trying to spec out this game or you know, tease almost this game's features out to so many that we're going to miss our release date. Um, you'll see it with the next one that's still a stretch goal for the live game. Um, but after that, we're going to be cutting back on those goals. So, as much as I'd like PC boats to replace NPC boats, can't promise that right now. From Nanolax, will pieces connect seamlessly? Haven't decided if all of them will. Some of them, of course, will. Some we may want to keep as not connecting seamlessly. Stern, which part of the BSC are you most concerned about and why? Oh, the progression system. Um, I think the magic system is going to be difficult to make work, but I know we will. I think at the end of the day we will. Not terribly really worried about that. The progression system is the scariest. It is such a sorry for using a bit of a cliche, but it is such a sea change for gamers and for gaming that that one has me worried. I think we can do it. I think it'll work. I think it'll be fun, but there's reasons for concern, and that's the other thing. And I'll only talk about this very briefly. If anyone out there who's either seeing this video live or sees it, later in the day or week or month, or who's on our forums, um, that I've been very honest that none of these things are coming easy to us in the sense of, oh yeah, we don't have to worry about it. We're just going to knock this out. We're concerned about everything we've talked about. We're going into this with our eyes open, know that some of them are going to be tough to do, and we'll just have to see what happens. But we are, worried about every one of them, as we should be, because if you go into this sort of thing without that concern, without that, bit of humbleness, you're going to fail. You just will most of the time. Wow, whole bunch just scrolled off. Sorry, guys, I may have missed a few. Question about whether the map will change physically during events or veil storms. Yes, that's what we hope. Question about will you be able to get from the safe zone to an active PvP area in a reasonable time? You want to say yes to that right away. I want to say yes to that right away. But if I say absolutely yes, and there's a set of circumstances where all the major pieces are owned by the other realms, and you have to take a more circuitous route, you might not be happy with the time it takes. So keep that in mind. Generally, our idea is that you should be able to get into our VR reasonably quickly. Does that mean a few minutes? Does that mean 30 minutes? That's what we're talking about. But there's no guarantee that if your realm is having, a really bad territory day or week or month, that you'll be able to get into something instantly. No, no guarantee on that. Good question. Sorry, Cameron, we haven't responded about the possibility of adding subtitles on BSC. That is something we're talking about. Absolutely. We know it's important to our European players and to our British players who are probably offended every time I talk. So we'll probably have to have subtitles for them too because of the way I mangle the English language. Question from Doc Pupil: will there be classes that have group speed buff? Yes, absolutely. Cypress, will there be a lot of environments used as a solo player to surprise or evade from enemies? That's part of the reason for the islands, actually. And then, guys, just so you know, there have been a number of questions that have been repeated. The reason I'm not answering them is because I've answered them before. So it's not that I'm ignoring you, but if I've answered it earlier in this video, until I finish the rest of the questions, I won't answer them again. So if guys in the chat, if you see a question I have already answered, if you could be helpful and respond to the people with that answer, that would be great. Question: when will we get another Twitch update like this? Hopefully a lot sooner than you folks were getting them for the last couple of weeks leading up to the BSC. Part of that was, of course, me being on vacation. I certainly want to do more like this going forward. Good. Keep resisting, Rhaegar. Capian, great question here. If you plan on spells being able to interact with other spells, how long will it take for a spell to actually get to its target? The reason that's a great question, we were actually talking about that this morning. I think spells should have different travel speeds. I think some spells should be able to move very quickly. Some other spells should be able to move very slowly. One of the examples I used in IT yesterday was if you go back to the old plasma torpedoes from the original Star Trek, these big things that, went out, did lots of destruction, or Starfleet battles as well, did a heck of a lot of damage, and, were in instant hits. Well, that's sort of what we would like to see in this game as well. But it needs to be a combination of spells and travel time. Sorry, voice again. So there will be spells that will be moving very fast and others that will be moving much more slowly. And that's a really interesting thing to think about, gamers. If a fireball is moving and you're using it essentially like, say, a siege weapon, and you fired this fireball from the top of the hill and you are trying to knock out or knock down a wall, sorry guys, other players will then be able to interact with that spell. So part of your job, whether it's a mage, archers, other folks as well, you see these things coming. Unlike most other games, you don't just have to sit there and go, oh my god, incoming. You'll be able to try to deflect it, to try to damage it, to try to, stop it. And that's the sort of interaction, and again, sorry for the cliche here, emergent gameplay, that's going to add a whole nother level to how your groups interact with each other, whether it's during a siege or when you're out running, 8-mans. Travi, CSE, is there a chance it will stay in the game? What is it? If all spells are targetable from a cavity, that's going to be a huge blankety blank for Zergs. Didn't say that all spells necessarily are going to be targetable. Right now they should be, but we'll see what happens. Nazgul, clicking on the spells will be Twitch. No, it's not going to be Twitch. You've already seen in IT, it's not a matter of Twitch. Far from it. We've said we're not going to make it a Twitch game. And don't forget, spells are not moving at light speed. Question regarding uncertainty and travel time. If it won't be, if you're in an overpopulated realm, actually, if you're in an overpopulated realm, travel time will be faster because you're going from place you own to place you own. You'll have roads, so you'll actually have a slight advantage there. It's the guys who are the underpopulated realms will have a disadvantage, and that's one of the things we've got to solve. Question on population imbalance. Is there any brilliant insight we have to prevent population imbalance? Not brilliant. It's all part of, various systems. There is no silver bullet. I've said this during the Camelot days, during the Warhammer days. There is no way to guarantee that there is not population imbalance unless you're willing to say that you can't have any new players joining one of the other realms. And obviously we can't do that, especially with a game that's not intended to have millions and millions of subs. So, we're looking at a various number of solutions, again, including the progression system, to make it even more attractive to play an underpopulated realm. I wish I had a silver bullet. There are things we can do that can help, but there isn't a single silver bullet. I wish there was. From Brian Joel, will there be channeled multicaster ritual type spells? Yes. We have talked about having mages as well as crafters work, together to create things. Capium, how long do you want weapons and armors to stay before breaking? No, there's no number right now, but we know we have to find a balance between keeping our crafters happy and keeping our combatants happy. I didn't see the whole question, but I think it said, "Are we going to be knee-jerk and nerf?" So I've got two different experiences. You have the Camelot experience and you have the Warhammer experience. Camelot, we got a lot of heat, for nerfing things. Warhammer, we got heat for not nerfing things. I think there's a balance in between. Look, I'll take full responsibility for being the guy at Mythic who said, I don't want to see nerfs in Warhammer right away, certainly. Unless something was just horribly broken. I said that I wanted our designers to try to find a way of bringing up other abilities to that same level rather than nerf. So, was it the right decision? I don't know. When we tried nerfing hard, we got a lot of bad feedback. When we tried not nerfing hard, we got bad feedback. So, will we be knee-jerk? If we think something is so horrible that it is so badly broken that we need to fix it immediately, yeah, we're going to fix it immediately. Okay, I'm not going to go down the path of, well, that's going to piss off some people, but it's really broken. If it's really broken, we're going to do it. Now, unlike Camelot, we will have metric systems that we didn't have then. And hopefully they will work, well. But that was part of the problem in Dark Age. It wasn't the programmer's fault. It wasn't, the designer's fault. It wasn't, the producer, Matt's fault. The stuff that we had to do, sometimes we made mistakes on because we didn't have, the kind of data we hope to have. Okay, I'm running out of time, so I'm going to look for one, really good question to end this. So, scroll for a little bit, guys, and I'll see if I can find something that's really awesome. And there's some very good questions already.